What's up, traders? My name is Mish. I am a full-time trader with the Opiniacus team, and today I have a gift for you. It's a playbook template, and if you don't know what playbooking is, I highly suggest looking up Michael Belfiore. He is a owner of SMB Capital. It's a prop firm, but he wrote this book called The Playbook, and the process described within that book is basically you take a setup, a chart. Take a chart that makes sense to you. You screenshot it, you annotate whatever it is, you describe whatever happened in that chart, and you save it. You archive it every single day, at least one setup per day. Your job is not done as a trader until you get that one setup and you playbook it every single day. This has to be done. And the whole point of doing so is that it sharpens your pattern recognition skill. You subconsciously leave these patterns in your head after annotating them, after spending time screenshotting and annotating this chart. It just gets saved in your head. And not only do you have a database that you can physically come back and look at, you also sharpen your pattern recognition skill so that in real time, when price action is unfolding a certain way, you can see and recognize your setup that you've playbooked 10 times before, and you can take it with confidence, and you'll always be patient until you don't see that setup. So there's many benefits to this exercise, and my gift to you is this playbook template. So once you click my link, at the very top you'll see a button here. It says duplicate. You click that, and as long as you're a member with Notion, if not, sign up, it's free. As long as you're a member, it should pop up on your right if you're logged in. So once you have that playbook there, it should be empty, but this is the one I'm usually using. You're gonna see all these tags you can use, but the actual process of playbooking looks something like this. So you go over to your charts, and for example, I have this grid here, and I like what I'm seeing. We have a near-term downtrend. We have a daily that is clearly weak. We're gapping down. 5 minutes all red, and I like what I see. Here I take my intra. I like this break below my level of interest, 2600, right? We have the break below. This is the break below, and then the retest. And I like this for an entry. It's very simple. This is something I playbooked before, and this is something I'm going to playbook again. So what that looks like is I simply take a screenshot, and I go in here and I start annotating. It should be very simple to do so within Apple and Windows. You should have a native way to take a screenshot and a factory app to annotate it within the computer that you use right now. So no excuse. You get in here and you start annotating, and it's very simple. So here, I like that I see, this break below my level of interest. You love day. So I like that, and I annotate that because that's what makes sense to me here. Next, I add another arrow, and I'll just copy and paste that one to be lazy, but here and here I like this part for an entry because it's a break below my level of interest, and it's a retest of my level of interest with a bearish engulfing setup. So I could take it here, or I could take it anywhere within that zone. So I could even annotate that whole zone if I want to. So this whole zone is good enough for an entry. And you can get way more detail with this. You can scribble on this chart, on this one, on this one. And once you save them, you go into your playbook. And today I'm going to make a new entry. So NQ, that's all I trade. Today's date. The daily setup, like I said, it's a trend down, gap down, and then if you remember within the think tank, you know about the bullish or the backdrops rather. Currently, we're in a bullish slash bearish backdrop, so I can add that tag. Like I said, you can create your own tags. You can get in here and customize the color. You can delete the ones that I have provided for you if they're not relevant. But you can make this very custom and tailored to yourself. Same thing with the intraday, right? For my intraday, I have these tags, and you can change them. You don't have to use them. You can make them your own. You can use mine. Doesn't matter. But I described the intra now. It's the intraday trend lower. I have a break and retest of LOI. So all the yellow ones are gonna be with something about LOI. So if it's like a intraday reversal versus LOI, or maybe it's like a intraday reversal where we reclaimed the LOI at like a higher low there, or it's a trend day down or up and we have a break through the LOI and then the retest of it. So like I said, I made these tags for myself. This is how I describe the action to myself, and it makes sense to me when I go back and review it later. You don't have to do that. You can rename these, you can make these your own, but that's just what helps me. And then I have tags for reference points, so like priority high, priority low, overnight high, overnight low. So those are not A plus, but those are still make for a grade trade, A tier trade. So I have those there too. And then I can scroll or go down here and add any other keys or key tags that might describe my trade. Maybe it was a fib retracement there, maybe there was VWAP there, or whatever else. This one was just plain and simple break and retest of the LOI. That's just that. That's how I'm going to leave it. I'm going to take the time. The time was between 10:30 and 11. Now I have the first hour split into 15-minute zones. It's just more volatile during that time, and that's just how I like to categorize. You can change that too. You can change the colors. You can change everything here if you want. Now these are the tags that I have, and they were great for me. And then this is a plus setup because it has the level of interest. Now the tags with the time are actually very key, because in the future you can go back and let's say after a month of playbooking, you will find that some of your best trades or some of the most common trades that you logged for the month came within the first 30 minutes, or maybe they came after 11 or whatever. But this is a good way to have data that you can get feedback from on your own trading. So now when we filled out our tags, all I do is just type in /image, and it's going to give me that button to upload the image. And then I just uploaded and I'm done. That's it. Simple exercise, like I said, and you need to do this daily. Now, you can get crazier and even more detailed, and if you're a beginner, I kind of suggest that you do. Type out some more facts here. More facts here about your trade. You can even give it bulletins and provide as many factors as you want. Just anything, any detail that's gonna stick out to you about this trade that you can save for the future, that you can archive. And like I said, it's gonna train your eyes and your brain to recognize these same setups in real time. So the way I've used this previously was without the purple tags, where I described the intra move that happened prior to, like where I took the screenshot. So this is something I started doing just recently within the last few months. But prior to that, it was just simple. It's gonna be a trade versus level of interest or a reference point. So a reference point is gonna be priority low, priority high, overnight low, overnight high, and level of interest, that's gonna be the yellow tags. So it's gonna be something like, like this one here in NQ. It's a new low of day trade. New low of day trade into the level of interest with a spring. And if you're in the think tank, you know what those concepts are of the spring and how this is an A+ setup because of the level of interest there. And it happened prior to 10 a.m. And then some other details that I wanted to add here are there. And maybe it's a trade without the level of interest. So it's a spring, new low of day spring but it's versus the overnight low, overnight high. So it might seem like a similar chart, but it's different because here we made a new love day into the overnight low instead of our level of interest. So key details, and over time I have all this data that I could just stack and compare, and I get to find out that, hey, a lot of my trades, look at these, almost none of them come before 10 a.m. I mean, there's a few, and then when it's around 10 a.m. I add 2 tags, so it's like this one, the 10 a.m. 10 a.m. So this exercise is key for anyone looking to level up their skill, and I think you will find plenty of value if you actually stick to using this every single day, taking your screenshot of the whatever setup makes sense to you, going in here, adding the tags, annotating the picture, uploading it in here, and over time you will notice that you become so much more confident at taking those same setups. You will not hesitate when you see it in real time because you've logged the same setup 10, 20 times before within the last months. So when it comes around, all you got to do is just pull the trigger. And like I also mentioned, this helps you be more patient because you know what you're looking for. So why would you even trade if your setup isn't there? Helps you manage that emotional side of trading there too. So like I said, you can get in here and customize everything, make it your own. You don't have to keep it how I made mine, but please do use this template. It's very simple. It's a list format, and I hope you get value out of it. Thanks for watching.